Yeah, I agree with that, yeah.
I do.
Good evening, it is 6 p.m. Welcome to the January 12th, 2026, regular meeting of County Council. We are called to order. Our next item is the invocations by Councilmember Patterson, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Well, thank you for this beautiful day. Thank you for bringing us all here together safely. We ask you to bless our travels as we depart from this place. We ask you to be with us tonight as we make decisions for the county, as we start off this new year and help change things for the betterment of the people, citizens of Lawrence. We ask this in your name. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. Republic, thanks. One nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Next item is approval of our agenda for January 12th, 2026. Is there a motion to approve? Second. Motion and a second. Any more discussion? All those in favor, please raise your right hand. 6-0. Welcome, sir. Item 5, approval of the minutes. We have two sets of minutes, December 8th, 2025 and December 22, special call meeting of 2025.
Motion to approve December 8th regular session and December 22nd special call meeting minutes.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor of approval, please raise your right hand. 6-0. Next item is public comment. We have two signed up this evening. First is Ms. Nancy Garrett.
Amen. I'm just gonna briefly talk to you. And I'm just gonna bring up a couple of things that, through looking through the ordinance for the open space. When it's talking about the natural open space, I think it's D under there. It talks about what can be used, as that, like they can use that as part of their natural open space as far as the buffer area. But when you look at our definition of buffer in 926, it's a transition zone to where basically the two activities don't, like the activity of a development doesn't disturb the adjacent property owner and stuff like that. It goes through, I've got it written down, but I wouldn't go through the whole thing. You can look at it. But basically, the purpose of it is to buffer, so it physically separates, in visual activity into the adjacent land uses. And we're talking about in the natural open space, though, they can use that the buffer area as their natural open space. So are we going to allow activity in that buffer area? Because it says in that portion of the natural open space, it says low impact activities can occur in that natural open space. So if we're using those buffers as part of our natural open space, will activity be allowed in that area? And when it's actually supposed to be a buffer between the two portions of it. One thing I think it's just highlighted in yellow on here, and I think it was discussed, at the planning commission to actually take out the portion of having the maximum density, like how to determine the maximum density of open space development, that should just be taken out. And I'm wondering, is that kind of going to be a slippery slope to do that? Because of the fact that in our definition, I think it's under in 926 division 2 subdivision requirements, it said the maximum density of any development within the county as established by the future land use map, which we don't have, another subject for another day, or other county regulatory ordinances. And it talks about how it's not guaranteed, the density is not guaranteed. It goes on to say other things. So our ordinances need to be very strong in what they say, and just taking out the fact of maximum density. I just don't think that would probably be a great idea. It needs to be formulated somehow or another for, the amount of density that would be allowed in an open space development. And I think that was basically it. Oh, side note, has nothing to do with tonight's meeting, but everybody needs to say a shout out to our fire department. We had a massive fire up in our area a week or so ago off of Park Road. And they worked tirelessly to get that controlled. It could have been so bad. And I think our whole county's fire department was there, running trucks back and forth. And so huge shout out to Lawrence County Fire Department and the staff, because those guys worked for hours on end trying to control that fire. So just wanted to say thank you to them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Paul Harrison.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman. My name is Paul Harrison. My address is 718 Lowndes Hill Road. I'm in Greenville, South Carolina. And I'm here tonight, to discuss ordinance 991. I'm a partner with a local civil engineering firm, and we do work in Lawrence County. We represent developers, we represent home builders. We do custom home neighborhoods. We do, more high density neighborhoods, multifamily and townhomes, and we also do single family detached neighborhoods for national builders and local and regional builders. So when items come up like this, I mean, we utilize the cluster or open space ordinance a good bit and just about everything that we do. You know, affordability is a big topic, and cluster ordinances provide and the developer and the home builder to be able to deliver a more affordable product. Just from the emphasis of infrastructure, you know, if we can decrease the footprint, the buildable footprint on property, and we can preserve open space, and we can do smaller lots, smaller houses, but still get the buffers that the community wants, road buffers and exterior buffers, and still get preservation of open space. We can still get density in certain areas, and I'm speaking really in terms of areas that have public water and sewer. A lot of the growth in Lawrence County, I think you'll see a lot of the growth, at least that what seems to be the biggest uproar and conversations about, are areas that have water, public water and public sewer. Because you should have the ability to do a much smaller lot in those areas, and you should be able to condense those developments and cluster them together. But there's a lot of things, and I know I don't have the time, but there's a lot of things in this ordinance that I reviewed and that are concerning to me. Number one, just I'll touch on a couple, and then I know time's of the essence tonight, but 60% open space right off the bat is pretty substantial amount of open space. It's above and beyond just about every other municipality that I work in the state. Now, the developer and the home builder or whoever, they don't get a reduction in that per acre cost. They're still paying the same amount for that 60% that's proposed to be dedicated right off the top for open space. So that's a major concern for me and my clients, as this whole area of the upstate continues to grow. And it's really going to make it tough to do developments under this current ordinance as it's written.
Mr. Harrison.
Yes.
We have a time limit, but I'll tell you this. I believe you commented to staff on
I have.
many of these
Yes,
things.
sir.
We actually have a part of this meeting tonight where we're gonna,
Am I speaking in the wrong time?
you are
period?
not speaking in the wrong time. You're speaking at the right time. Just we limit the time when it's not. You just have a certain number of time, but we're gonna address most all the things, I believe that.
If I could just make a suggestion that we keep Mr. Harrison around in case we have any questions.
Yes.
since a lot of suggestions have been encompassed in the amendments that are proposed.
And
But
I'll
they
be
will be
glad
presented
to,
to the council this evening.
absolutely, and I'll be glad to stick around. I'll
Yes, sir.
try to answer any questions that, council may have.
Thank you.
Thank
We do have a pretty lengthy meeting tonight. Hopefully we'll get through it in good time, but there's a lot of discussion we need to have. Tonight, in the old business, our first item, are there any submissions for boards or commissions from the council? If not, next item is public hearing of ordinance 992. That's the project IPE Philo. John Coker, you can,
Mr. Chairman,
yes.
would you mind if I would have just a brief moment of privilege for a administrator's report?
Oh, yes, sir. I
It
didn't
wasn't
see
on
it.
there.
Yeah.
But I do have our treasurer Cynthia Burke here who wants to address you guys with a very important announcement. And then I also have our planner Lisa Wargo who wants to introduce her a new planning tech that we have who started.
I
today.
apologize. It's going by this. I didn't see it.
No, that-
Absolutely.
No worries.
Good evening, Mayor, Council.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Okay.
And the public. The one thing that I'm here for tonight is I'm very proud of Lawrence County. Tomorrow, we're going to be the third county in the state to collect DMV late fees. That means a regular renewal. We'll send a transmission, we'll collect their late fees, and we'll send that money to the DMV. There's only two other counties right now that are doing this, Spartanburg and Aiken. Lawrence County has been issuing decals about 20 years. We're the fifth county in the state to issue decals. I'm chairman of the DMV committee for the state for auditors, treasurers, and tax collectors. This is something we have been working on for a long time. Taxpayers and citizens like one-stop shopping. They like to go one place, pay their fee, get their decal, get their registration, and leave. In the past, they had to pay us, go to the DMV, and then they had to wait in line. And they have other duties besides issuing decals and registration cards. So their time is taken up waiting in line to get their decal and registration card. We'll be able to do this at our drive-through window. We'll also be able to do this in person. But let me reiterate the fact that it's on a regular renewal for a high mileage. And if we get an error message, that means there's something other than the DMV late fee that's involved. And in that case, they still will have to go to the DMV. But I'm kind of proud. I think we're gonna have something coming out in paper. And I'm really proud of Lawrence County being the third in the state to do this. I think it's quite an accomplishment. Thank you.
I
for
need to
your
ask
time.
you something while you're there, ma'am.
Okay.
Right back here by this.
Okay.
Do you need any more help? You're gonna have one window or two windows, because when you start this, thank people, thank your staff for what they do. But do we need to do anything to help you?
Right now, Arthur Lee, I believe, from what I'm hearing from Spartanburg County, there is no extra time that it takes for this. It transmits a signal just like it does now. It transmits back, prints the registration and the decal, and we should get the same information for that.
So
Now, we
all
do
the
have
computers
two-
and everything's up to date.
Oh, yes, we have two drive-through windows. If the need be that we would need to open that other window, we do have two.
So that's why I'm asking now ahead, do you need an extra person to start that second?
Not
window?
at this time, but by the time budgets roll around, I think I'll have a better idea to what you're asking right now as to how it's going out. Like I say, tomorrow's our test day. We've been
Because
testing. for
today,
several
you all
weeks.
have a line.
Yes,
So that's why I'm asking this.
Arthur Lee, today is, January
First
15th is the last day before the penalty. When I got there about 7:45 this morning, there were 4 cars in line. My person that works mail at the drive-through, before 12 o'clock, she had done $1 million in mail and internet payments.
But y'all see what I'm saying? When
Yes.
y'all bringing that department, bringing that kind of money in, you need help. Ask for this
I
help. They don't
will.
tell me what the money is.
I will definitely ask. I'm not shy about asking for what I need to do my job.
All right, thank you. Appreciate you,
Thank
man.
you. Could I answer any other questions?
They ain't like you now.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, ma'am.
Very short. We have a new planning tech finally. Her name is Jennifer. Jennifer, you want to come? And she is thawing out because she's coming all the way from Iowa.
Hi, everyone.
How you do, ma'am?
Good.
Good to see you. Just my first, I met you earlier today. Appreciate you. Thank you for coming to Lawn County, ma'am. Anything that I can do, not them, what I can do for you, let me know. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. All right. I apologize for getting ahead of you, but thank you for bringing that. Jonathan, you want to step up and, tee this up before I open up public hearing?
Yes, sir. Good evening. The next 4 items in the agenda, deal with, Project IPE, which, company is named Adeptus. It's a $93 million investment, and 126, new jobs are looking at going into the former Michelin Distribution Center off of Highway 221 in Metro Road.
Thank you. At this time, we will open, public hearing for ordinance 992. Anyone wanting to speak to ordinance 992, please come forward at this time. Seeing none, we'll close this public hearing. We'll go on, next item, third reading, ordinance 992, project IPE Philo.
Motion to approve on third reading, project IPLR.
Motion second, any discussion? All those in favor, please raise your right hand. 6-0. Next item is public hearing for ordinance 993 to amend the Octagon Multi-County Industrial Park to include project IPE. I will now open this public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak about public hearing about ordinance 993, please come forward at this time. Seeing none, we'll close this public hearing. Move on to third reading of ordinance 993 to amend Octagon Multi-County Industrial Park to include project IPE. Is there a motion? We have a motion. Is there a second? Second. Any discussion?
I want to confirm that due to its proximity, it's not Hunter, it is Octagon.
Any other discussion? All those in favor, please raise your right hand. 6-0. You need to speak about Project Floyd before we open the public hearing.
Yeah, I can, this is Project Floyd. It's a $68.6 million investment. It is going into Hunter Industrial Park. It's kind of different having a public hearing, but not third reading. They have the last minute issue with their real estate closing, and they wanted to postpone third reading until they got that ironed out for the next month's meeting. But since the public hearing had already been advertised and everything, they just go forward. So.
All right, thank you. We'll now open public hearing for ordinance 994, Project Floyd Philo. Anyone wishing to speak for or against ordinance 994, please come forward at this time. Seeing none, we'll close this public hearing. Move on to the next item. Public hearing for ordinance 996, the purchase of number 1 and number 3 Gallon Street. We'll open this public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak for or against ordinance 996, the purchase of number 1 and number 3 Gallon Street, please come forward. Seeing none, we'll close this public hearing. Move on to third reading of ordinance 996, the purchase of number 1 and number 3 Gallon Street.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor of approving on third reading ordinance 996, please raise your right hand. Next item is second reading of ordinance 997, Project Diamond Philo. Coleman?
Yes, sir. Maybe, This is a industry, a new industry, looking to come to the Clinton area. That'll be actually be in the city limits of Clinton. Not just over $9 million investment in 70, new jobs. And we had first reading, on title only last meeting, but the whole agreements in the package.
Is that the one out there on 56 or 72?
Yes, it's between the two, but it's back behind the,
Okay, I'm with you.
truck stop.
Any questions for Mr. Coleman? Do I
I'll
motion,
wait till the end when I got to see it. And you got me back?
Sorry.
You coming back up?
Yeah. I'll be
Okay,
here.
I get you at the.
do I have a motion to approve on second reading ordinance 997, Project Diamond Fever? Second, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please raise your right hand. 6-0. Next item will be second reading of ordinance 999. Clinton Industrial Multi-County Industrial Park for Project Diamond. Is there a motion to approve on second reading?
Motion to approve.
Any discussion? All those in favor, please raise your right hand. 6-0. Next item is going to take more than a minute. This is second reading of ordinance 991 to amend ordinance 926 open space residential development. We will need a motion and a second to enter discussion. Okay, motion and a second. We are now in discussion phase. I would ask, County Attorney Wes Metz to tee this up for us a little bit about the discussion we're gonna have pertaining to amendments.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As you guys know, we've had several meetings, several workshops on this ordinance, and part of what you tasked staff was to solicit input from local developers, civil engineers, utility providers, and we have done that. They came back with about 11 changes that they would like to see to the ordinance. So I have broke those down into 11 separate amendments that are before you guys. I would like for you to consider each of the amendments and vote them up or vote them down, so we can present a new revised ordinance for third reading and for the workshop that you guys will have with the planning commission.
Okay. So is everybody clear on what we're fixing to do?
I put it like this, I got the paper,
Okay.
but I'm gonna read it before I raise my hand.
Yeah, we're gonna go through each one of them individually, for discussion so that everybody's comfortable with what's in it, before we vote, but we do wanna, vote up or down each one, so that we can make the changes to the document for our subsequent meetings and then third reading. So the first amendment is amendment number 1. It's on page number 1. And it has to do with the house site location. Has specifically to do with attached townhomes. In the current language, it says attached townhomes do not exceed 30% of the development. The proposed amendment after Mr. Mattson staff met was that they strike the do not exceed 30% of the development. So the proposed amendment would be to strike that and have no limit. Is that correct?
Just one point of clarification, staff recommends that the ordinance be adopted as is. So all of these amendments are proposals that have come outside of staff. Staff has not proposed any of these amendments. These amendments have come from outside. Staff does have some opinions, but these are recommendations that.
So the proposed amendment is based off what input from other people have said they won't change.
Correct. These are solely the recommendations that came outside of staff that we prepared to present to you guys this evening.
Who is outside the fact?
We solicited comments from Lawrence County Water and Sewer, from several different engineers. We only received feedback from Mr. Harrison at Blue Water Civil, who's here tonight. We also received feedback from Eric Timmerson with Ryan Holmes, and staff has met with various different departments to review all.
Now, which is not, sir.
Mr. Betts, refresh my memory on Robert's rules. These all did need to be motions to approve, correct?
Correct, you make a motion to amend the minutes to adopt the amendment.
So what Mr. Matt said is that the current language you see is what staff recommends, correct? The proposed amendment will be a change from what staff recommended.
Correct, those will be based on recommendations that came from developers, real estate agents, and Walton County Waters.
Okay.
But let me ask you this, before I get ahead. Our planning committee, our person that we just hired, the one that hired. Have y'all look at this, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
What do y'all say?
Well, currently, even our current open space development ordinance only allows for that 30%. It does have the 30% limit on multiple family homes, townhomes. Because otherwise, if they wanted to do it entirely in townhomes, they would actually fall under the multiple family.
Lisa, would you mind coming to the podium? I think that would allow us.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
I think it's important to point out that our current ordinance for open space is exactly to where they cannot exceed 30% when it comes to townhomes or multiple family. If it did exceed that, they're actually being thrown right into our current multiple family ordinance, which is what they should be following. If it's any more than the 30%. That's why the 30% is there. It's because we already have an ordinance for multiple family.
So we vote tonight. I mean, me, I'm not talking about him, me. Would be the best, the first one or the second?
What staff has presented to keep that limit of 30%, to keep the minimum of 30%, at 30%, I mean, the maximum for townhomes.
But if they want to do townhome, well, that's why I'm here, ma'am. They ain't gonna get over on me this year. So. The open space development. Right now, what you're saying is not the 30%. Can't do townhome.
Yes, but no more than 30% of the total development.
But that's all depending how much land they got too, ain't it?
Right, right. If it's any, the way we're presenting it is if it's any more than that 30%, they have to follow the multiple family ordinance.
I'm gonna tell you like now, I might be opposite line. I don't like nobody tell me what to do with my own land.
Point of order. Mr. Wilson, I respect your opinions.
I'm just telling you, how I said, I might be out of order, but I'm just telling you. It's about me.
All right.
You got yours, I got mine.
Any more questions on this particular amendment before we decide whether we'll take action or not?
I got one. Are they trying to, the proposed amendment, are they trying to do away with our open space a little bit? Or are they trying to infringe on what we've got wrote down for open space where they put more houses?
I think what they're trying to do is make the entire development multiple family, and we already have an ordinance for that. We have guidelines set up and code set up for multiple family under 926. That we're not addressing at this time. And our current open space, the way we have it now, limits it to 30% of the entire development. So we're just taking what we already have and keeping it as far as the proposal, the updated proposal.
Well, there's a proposed amendment. That's helping the developer, right?
Read it.
I mean, that's helping the developer.
It simply limits the percentage of townhomes that can be built on a development. If they want more than 30%, there's already an existing option for them to build townhomes. This just limits townhomes in a development to 30%.
So if a proposed subdivision.
And this is within the open space subdivision ordinance.
If it's set up for 40 acres. For open space, and recreational space, and then 30 acres for a house, that 40 acres stays like it is, right?
Yeah, we're just talking about the density of townhomes on a development.
Right.
So is there? I'll call question on this.
Motion to approve amendment number one.
You want to approve the amendment that removes the 30%
We need
with
to-
unlimited?
We need to take action. The motion needs to be in the affirmative.
Motion fails for lack of second.
If there's no second, motion fails.
All right, so we will not be approving that amendment. On the next page, it's amendment 1A. Has to do with minimum lot sizes and where they are located on.
I'll be happy to do it. Go ahead. This just really changes the percentage of the lots that have to directly face the common open space. The current language requires that 50% of the lots within the development shall directly front natural or common open space or face natural and common open space from across a subdivision street. The feedback we got from Mr. Harrison at Blue Water Civil and from Lawrence County Water and Sewer is that this is very difficult to meet. It's subjective. They're having difficulties with this percentage in Greenville County. So the proposed amendment would be to strike that 50% of the lots have to face common open space.
Motion to approve amendment number 1A.
Second.
Any discussion?
What? I'm not voting on it, you said,
What motion to approve amendment 1A?
you approve the proposed amendment?
Yes, sir.
What you saying, don't have them have 50% or have 50%?
The proposed amendment would not require that 50% of the lots directly face open space.
Thank you.
There is a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All those in favor of approving amendment number 1A, please raise your right hand. Is that you up, Justin?
Yeah, you say 1A?
Correct.
Yes.
Wait,
I was making sure we didn't mix up with the first one.
No, there is a
And I do,
amendment 1 and there's amendment.
1A.
I do apologize. We had already printed them and we got an extra one.
I
so
was
we
making
made
sure
it 1A.
before I raised the hand, making sure.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm on two now, but that one, you have 1A here.
All right, for clarification, we had a motion and a second. All those in favor of approving amendment number 1A, please raise your right hand.
You said that's approving the proposed amendment?
Yes.
Yes. That's 5, any against? 5-1, Mr. Yance in opposition. This is not gonna be hard at all.
Yeah, we have a law.
Next item is amendment number 2. And Mr. Metz.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. What this amendment does is it increases the land use buffers to 100 foot in all directions, except if they border a residential development that already has a 100 foot buffer, then they can reduce the buffer to 50 foot. Comments that we received are that it's a little steep as long as the buffers can be counted towards open space. There's not too much of an objection. And then the allowance of a 50 foot buffer if you're next to a 100 foot buffer.
For clarification, if that were one community with a 100-foot buffer and another one went in beside it, that would be 150 feet in total buffer.
Correct.
And the 100 foot buffer is next to a subdivision, you say, or a private residence?
Yes, sir. If there is a subdivision that has already established a 100 foot buffer and you would like to put a subdivision next to that one, you would only have to have a 50 foot buffer on that common boundary. So you would have 150 feet between the two subdivisions.
And that's the current language or the proposed?
That is the proposed language.
Motion to approve amendment number 2.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve amendment number 2. Any more discussion?
Voting on the proposed amendment.
Yes, sir. All those in favor of approving amendment number 2, please raise your right hand. 6-0.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Moving on to amendment number 3. This is the requirement of open space. The current language requires 60%. 50% of that would be natural and 10 of that would be common open space. The proposed amendment would reduce the open space percentage to 40%, with 30% of that being natural and 10% of that being common. The opinions from both Blue Water Civil, Lawrence County Water and Sewer, and Brian Holmes seem to indicate that 40% is more of the industry standard. And they would recommend that we look somewhere between 40 to 50% for our open space, but the amendment does reduce it to 40%.
Why can't we do 50-50?
You guys have the authority to do whatever you would like.
No, I'm sharing me that anyway.
Do you have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, motion to approve amendment number 3 as proposed.
This motion for
Yes, sir. Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I will say I'm gonna trust the input of our staff on this and vote against the motion, or vote against the amendment.
Make,
Could we get some comments from Blue Water? I'd like to see how the 40% compared to our conventional standards would compare. Well,
if you need information, that's fine. Come do it.
Yes, sir. So it kind of gets back to the point I was making earlier about industry standard. I mean, 40%. We consider 40% high, so it's 60%. I'm not sure that it would be economically feasible to do that, to just automatically right off the bat put 60% of 100-acre. Look at it like this, you buy 100 acres, right off the bat, you're putting 60 acres in open space. They're not getting any reduction in the price of that land. It's,
I'm with you, sir.
if it's 50 an acre, they're paying 50 an acre for that. I'm fully on board with the buffers and all of that. I just think that 60% is above and beyond anything, open space required anywhere in the state that I'm aware of.
so
I like to do 50-50.
I'd like to amend the
I
motion.
said same thing, sir.
Motion to amend.
we
The motion.
gotta have that.
I believe Mr. Patterson made the motion, so if he would like to amend his motion, he may.
Can you amend my amendment?
No.
Because I'm just back on, it like this, 60-40 don't make sense. I got land too, but if y'all up here ain't got land, y'all won't. You're sitting out there in the audience, you need to look at it. Somebody can tell you, we up here voting on your land.
I believe the biggest issue,
Mr. Chairman, I wish to withdraw my motion.
The motion is withdrawn. I'd like to make a motion to change from 60% to 50% with 40% natural and 10% common.
Information, Mr. Chairman, could you repeat those numbers one more time?
The current language says 60% open space. I propose 50% open space. Within that, it'd be 40% natural and 10% common.
gotcha. Yeah, right.
Why can't it be 50-50?
It would be, Mr. Pilson, that's within that 50%, 40 of it would be, common, wouldn't be, natural. 10%.
Right,
Yes, sir.
and that's the.
Is there a second on motion? Second. All right, any just more discussion? Mr. Pilson, are you clear on that?
With you now, know I get the 50% of 50% open space.
Yes, sir. Any more discussion? All those in favor of approving amendment number 3 with 50% open space, please raise your right hand. All those opposed? 5-1 with Councilman Brownlee in opposition. And Mr. Patterson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We can move on to amendment number 4 now. This one's pretty straightforward. The current language proposes 10-foot side yard setbacks for 1 and 1.5 story structures and 15-foot setbacks for 2-foot side yard setbacks for 2-story structures. The proposed amendment would reduce those side yard setbacks to 7.5 for 1 and 1/2 story structures and 10 foot for 2-story structures. The comments that we received is that the industry standard for cluster developments is 7.5 foot side yards, and usually they go down to 5 foot. The recommendation from Lawrence County Water and Sewer was that we consider 7.5 and 10-foot setbacks.
Motion to approve amendment number 4.
Motion and a second. Any discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
just for the sake of my understanding, what is the intention with this amendment? Just so it's for, make sure I understand this correctly and for the public, of course, and the intentions of the amendment or what we seek to accomplish with it.
By reducing the side yard setbacks, it would naturally allow for a small increase in the density of the neighborhood. Not a significant portion, but it would allow for an increase in density.
Ideally to incentivize open space development compared to conventional.
Gotcha, appreciate it.
Any other discussion? All those in favor of approving amendment number 4, please raise your right hand.
Approve the proposed amendments, what you're saying?
Yes, sir. Mr. Yance, are you for or against?
I'm against.
Okay.
Proposed.
5-1, Mr. Yance in opposition.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Moving on to amendment number 5. The current language requires a subdivision entrance for every 50 lots of a proposed subdivision. The proposed amendment would require a subdivision for every 100 lots of a proposed subdivision. We received 2 comments regarding this from Mr. Harrison. There was some strong opposition. He said it's not practical and it's not the standard in any other jurisdictions. From Lawrence County Water and Sewer, they believe that 1 for every 100 seemed a tad excessive and that we should cap the number of entrances as no more than 4 entrances.
So you saying down here where he said 1 driveway, I said, well, every 50 lot? Not. You can just get full, it's at 200 lots.
So they're proposed 1 way in, 1 way out for every 100 lots.
That is the proposed amendment, yes, sir.
I don't like that.
Just clarification, Mr. This is for open space only.
This is for open space developments only.
I think you should have more than 1 entry. That's my opinion.
Currently, it's one for every 50 lots. The proposed amendment is 1 entrance for every 100 lots.
Say that again?
The current language as it reads, there's 1. For every 50 lots in the subdivision, there has to be 1 entrance. For the proposed amendment, an entrance is required for every 100 lots.
How can we change that from every 50 lot, 1 driveway, 1 entry? And you do another, you say you got 200, then your assets can get 4. Like this paper.
I mean, you can put as many entrances as you want. If you wanted 10, you could. But this is just the bottom line.
I got you.
For either, current language 50 lots or proposed language every 100 lots, whichever we choose.
So, Mr. Filson, this specific amendment as proposed would require one entrance for every 100 lots.
Yeah.
But if you had a 600 lot subdivision, that would require 6 entrances. So if we pass it as it says with no limit on the entrances, a 700 lot would have to have 7 entrances. And what they're saying is that might not even be possible on a lot, so that would prevent them from being able to develop anything. So there was a recommendation that there maybe be a limit on the number of entrances you would have to have as a maximum.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Does anybody want to take any action on this amendment?
I'll make the motion that we approve amendment number 5 to read a subdivision entrance is required for every 100 lots. We would propose subdivision with a maximum number of entrances 4.
Second. Any more discussion? All those in favor of approving amendment number 5, please raise your right hand. All those opposed? 5-1, Councilman Yance in opposition. Shank. Yeah. I think they've made the batteries this way so you wouldn't have to hear us. Mr. Metz, you want to take us to number 6?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Quite frankly, I think it would be more beneficial if I allowed Mr. Harrison to address this. He had a request that, on cul-de-sac streets that, you should have the ability to put intermediate turnarounds, traffic circles on long dead-end cul-de-sac streets as an option to address item 6 under access. I think he could probably do a much better job of explaining his comment than I could. So I would invite Mr. Harrison to come up and address that if council will allow.
But or our comment on this, amendment was.
Hold on 1 second.
What's his name?
Be honest.
You got it on.
Not borrow. See. All right, we're good. We're good.
So my comment on
Yep,
this
thank you,
was,
Shane.
you have, 70 lots, call it 35 lots on either side of the road. As the maximum length for a dead end cul-de-sac. I'm not necessarily opposed to that but in certain cases, I think, depending on certain properties, there could be some cul-de-sacs that reach that 3,500 foot length. And in a added language in there that I proposed was, well, once we get past 70 lots, why not just have an intermediate turnaround for emergency services, for fire services, for stuff like that? It would serve the same purpose, and technically it wouldn't be a dead end. You wouldn't have to drive all the way to the end of the road to turn around. There would be an intermediate turnaround if you exceeded that length. So that was the proposed change or suggestion that we made as a part of the amendment.
One question off of that house, if y'all run into this issue.
1 out of 20 subdivisions. It's doesn't occur every time, but it does occur when you have oddly shaped properties that are long and linear. Just say you got a 5,000 linear foot piece of property that's a perfect rectangle and it comes off of a road, a public road. Why not have the allowance for an intermediate turnaround halfway down so that somebody doesn't have to drive all the way to the end?
Well, the way that I read, not to be wrong, but the way I read the current language, it says, more than 70 lots shall be terminated by a circular right-of-way radius not less than 60 feet or by acceptable means of turnaround where practical. That would encompass one of those roundabouts, wouldn't it?
It would. I think I was referring mainly to the 3,500 foot maximum
Feet without
length,
another street.
the maximum length. If you just had an intermediate cul-de-sac in certain cases, not gonna come up a lot, maybe, but it does from time to time. If you have an intermediate turnaround, that maximum length could be reevaluated by staff.
Let me ask you this, sir. I like what you're saying. Because I think every subdivision should have a roundabout. For the fire department and everybody else can turn around, instead of them just going in and got the bag out. But yes, thank you.
If I could ask Mr. Harrison one more question.
Yeah.
If we just put a comma at the end of the current language and said, or utilizing a traffic circle, would that suffice with what you're requesting?
I think it would.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you, Mr. Harrison.
Thank you.
Somebody want to make Mr. Metz's proposal in the form of a motion?
Yes, so. Second. You do need to restate the language.
Just to be clear, my suggestion was that we put a comma at the end of the paragraph and say, or utilize a traffic circle, period. And I believe that's the motion that has been made.
Motion.
Second.
Any more discussion? All those in favor, please raise your right hand. 6-0. Amendment number 7.
Okay, I think this was pretty straightforward, I hope anyway. The current language requires that the shape of all natural open space, be contiguous. The only comment that we received from Lawrence County Water and Sewer was that they didn't want to allow a public road or right of way to defeat that, contiguous nature. So they suggested we added a small part that says unless separated by a public road or right of way.
Say that again.
Our
The
requirement,
last, no, so the last part, when you said, I see what they want, I mean, why they want that?
because in certain cases, it's hard for me to show you without having a picture, but
We ain't got the map.
we don't wanna, they don't want a long road to defeat the fact that that common space, that open space is still open. Is what they're saying, is that they don't want a public road or right of way to defeat the cohesiveness of the open space.
Motion to approve amendment 7 that has been.
Second.
Motion and second. Any more discussion? All those in favor of approving amendment number 7, please raise your right hand. 6-0. Number 8. Lucky number 8.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This came from the recommendation of Mr. Harrison, but he and I are going to disagree on this one. The current language of our ordinance places certain requirements on where natural open space must be placed. I believe Mr. Harrison would like for us to strike that language and allow that to be left to the discretion of the developers. But staff strongly opposes striking this section and would ask that it be left as is.
What's that?
Planning department, the assessor's office, the legal department, excuse me, 911 and administration.
And them come up and tell me why.
You know what the amendment is. If there's some action to be taken, we have to have a motion. So
My motion is me to help them. Why it wanna be changed and help, I want everybody to be. I don't just want one side.
you made a motion to approve.
I want a motion to prove that I wanna hear everybody's side.
That's not what we're voting on.
I know you're not.
All right, for the sake of time, I'll make that first amendment number 8.
Please clarify.
This is This proposes to do away all this stuff, right?
Correct. I just need a motion to approve. That's not seconded, that fails.
My brother.
All right, there's no second, so the motion fails.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Moving on to amendment number 9, this has to do with retention areas for stormwater management. The current language does not allow you to use any detention or retention areas for stormwater management regardless of size. The proposed amendment would allow for unfenced stormwater retention or detention ponds to account for up to 3% of the common open space if a walking trail or benches are included around the pond in their design. And they would also amend section H4 to allow that any fenced detention or retention areas used for stormwater management not be included as open space. The thoughts and the comments we received from this is that existing unfenced stormwater ponds could be a nice amenity for neighborhoods, for fishing ponds and stuff of the like. So the request from Mr. Harrison and Blue Water Civil was that we allow for unfenced stormwater retention ponds to count towards the open space. And to be honest with you, I believe planning does agree with this proposed amendment because that was the language we originally had in the ordinance.
Approve amendment number 9 as proposed.
Let me ask you this, Reader's Digest version, they trying to do away, they trying to cheat us out of open space?
No, sir, they're trying to be able to utilize bodies of water as open space. So if you have a pond, they want that to be counted towards open space.
Retention pond or a farm pond?
An undefenced retention pond, they want that to be counted as open space
For a maximum of 3%, correct?
for a maximum of 3% of the common open space.
Any other discussion?
Would that be a liability, not fencing that retention pond?
Not for the county.
Yeah, not,
No, yeah.
we don't think that's people.
It would be for the homeowners association, but they would be tasked with taking reasonable measurements to ensure that.
All right, Mr. Young, I'm with him. I'm like you said, I'm with you, sir. That they need to have it fenced in.
Okay, any other discussion?
How was the 3% number landed on? How did we come up with that number?
Only 10% of the common open space can be active common open space, so we just took. And quite frankly, I don't know how we landed on 3%, but it's a little less than half of your common open space could be a retention pond.
Gotcha, thank you.
I'll call the question. All those in favor of approving amendment number 9, please raise your right hand. All those opposed? Let me get my count again. It's 4-2 with Councilman Lane and Yance in opposition. Is that right? Okay. Thank you. So, 20. Yeah. Amendment number 10.
All right, last but not least, this is a very simple amendment. The current ordinance requires that the developer submit a management plan for the for the open space maintenance. This just adds a requirement that that maintenance plan be approved by the county.
Motion to approve amendment as presented.
Clarification, Mr. Chairman, in this proposal, C is stricken. I do not believe that was intended.
And that was a typographical error, that and at the end of C was supposed to be stricken, but not the C itself.
Second. There's motion and second. Any discussion?
I need to know, before I go ahead, wait, number 10. I'm back on Mr. Young. Sir, if Miss Lisa. What's name, Miss Lisa? Can I have you back up on?
Excuse me.
Yeah. We're gonna go back to item number 9.
No, we're not going back. We're
Okay.
done. This is,
I'm bringing it back, and I'll go back to you. But I want to ask you, ma'am. Is. We did 9. I can, go up on 10, how can we put in there? We put a gate, a fence around the pond.
so none of that's gonna happen with what we're doing here. Once we finish these amendments, then we will vote on the document itself. If you want to make suggestions at that time, that's when we would do it.
I just want to make sure, ma'am, we get that. Thank you.
All right, any more discussion on amendment number 10? I'm assuming that I made a motion and somebody seconded. All those in favor of approving, please raise your right hand. All those, 6-0. All right. Those were the amendments.
Mr. Chairman, I have one more amendment. I will give everyone a chance to turn to it in the original document on page 5. Section D, item 3.
Old business? Old business,
This is old business, correct? It'll be for very into your packet.
packet 5,
Yes.
page 5.
Open space residential. Development, page 5. Section D, item 3.
Make sure we on the same line. I'm on page 5, I don't see item.
So what page of the big document was?
The item B. Which is it?
Just
Good, I don't know where that now, let me read it. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Go ahead.
All right, is everyone good? All right, I'd like to make a motion to amend page 5, open space residential development, section D, item 3. In the second word, it says a 50-foot buffer. I would like to raise that to a 100-foot buffer for the streetscape zone. And the rest, yes, the remainder would stay as is. The only change would be again to section D, item 3, from 50 feet streetscape zone to a 100-foot streetscape zone.
Even that means 50 feet from the highway or 100 feet, it's gonna be not gonna be 100 feet.
Yes, sir.
Just for clarification, Mr. Metz, if we approve the 100-foot buffer around all subdivisions anyway, that would change.
I think Mr. Brownlee's amendment is appropriate because it directly addresses the street sleep.
Perfect.
I'll second the motion, Mr. Chairman.
Any more discussion?
Derek asked a question earlier about usage of buffers. I want to make sure that this, is allowing the streetscape to be considered as natural open space and can include walkways, sidewalks, and trails. Good with that, or are they gonna be just, are you intending to allow pedestrian opportunities?
To allow for that as well, yes.
They can build, the sidewalk outside the 100 feet.
Do I need to amend that motion to also include the language from ordinance 926? As far as the design of that streetscape zone?
This is just an amendment to 926, so that would also apply. Are you keeping the 40-foot?
Correct.
Landscape?
I'll read, yes. A 100-foot buffer streetscape zone shall be provided along the existing road frontage adjoining the subdivision, of which 40 feet of the width shall be landscaped. The streetscape zone can be designated as natural open space and can include walkways, sidewalks, paths, trails, and other elements associated with passive recreation or the provision for continuous pedestrian and bicycle connections between adjoining properties. I believe the big complaint when it comes to subdivisions, one of them is what they look like from the road. I believe 100-foot streetscape zone with the 40-foot. The landscaping would be a nice addition.
Do we have a second to his motion?
Yes.
You're gonna do is you'll end up with 40-foot landscape and 60-foot of natural that'll look like crap between the end of the landscape portion and the houses, and or they put the 40-foot on the backside. So you have 60-foot of natural against the road and then 40-foot of landscape up against the houses.
Miss Lisa, apologies for calling you again. You know 926 better than I do. I know we were going over it earlier in 926. Would that address this situation being the natural open space?
That actually occurred to me when we were talking about that earlier today. The 40-foot usually starts at the street.
At the end of the.
Yeah, the landscaping usually starts at the street, so I was kind of wondering, you know, if we did increase it. To be honest with you, I don't see a problem with it either way. Because you're still providing a nice entry into the development. It could be to where it's not landscape or right off the street, but you're providing a nice entry. At the same time, it would still need that unvegetated area, where they're not planting, would need to be mowed. Keep it looking nice.
Would that fall into the management plan for the open spaces?
Yeah.
Okay. I do get Mr. Patterson's point, you know, if it's growing up in cuts, it's not something I would want to look at either, but.
That's what I'm afraid of too. I'm thinking the same thing. I'm afraid that if you don't have a landscaping closer to the street, you know, you might, if you're pushing it back to where the homes are, you might end up having more, you know, fallow land up front, unless it's really specified that has to be managed.
See, that's what I keep asking them. If you ain't got it in writing, if we changing this alternate to 100 feet instead of 50, that's, I'll keep that other part up. It don't matter how you want it to look. But that butt part, only gonna take care of what they gonna take care of.
That's my concern.
I'm with you, man. Not a genius, but I'm not a dumb either, but I know that it's like this.
See, the way it's set up now, you have that 40-foot landscape and then the housing starts right there. So it's already done and you don't have to worry about, you know, the maintenance of that extra 100 or 160 feet.
Cause it's gonna be left for the DOT or the county, or, you know, where it's located at.
But the 40 feet would be on the existing road frontage. The other 60 feet.
Technically, according to the rest of our code, yeah, according to Ord 926, it starts at the street.
I mean,
So anything larger, you know, we're not requiring that to be landscaped.
correct, but also in amendment number 10, the management plan has to be approved by the county. There's something unacceptable in those management practices of that extra 60 feet that would be unmanicured. The county can handle that. I know that's extra during the process, but
You wanna do anything to that motion or what we can vote on as it?
call the question.
All those in favor of approving the motion, please raise your right hand.
That's 100 foot.
Any opposed? 5-1, 4-2. Councilman Patterson and Billson in opposition.
They call y'all, fit in the yard, just see y'all come.
All right. Any other proposed amendments? To 991. If not, back to the original motion, all those in favor of approving on the second reading of ordinance 991, am I correct? Please raise your right hand. All those opposed?
On what now?
Oh,
This
goodness.
is the main
Okay.
motion for ordinance 991, open space residential development.
And that's approved before we went through.
The entire ordinance, if there would have been.
We're back to the original motion to approve on second reading ordinance 991. All those in favor of approving on second reading, please raise your right hand. All those opposed? 5-1, Councilman Yount in opposition. Now. Oh. Mr. Metz, I know our next item is quarterly public input meeting schedule. Do we have a plan for a planning commission council, workshop?
I think so far you're the only one who has responded to the suggested dates that we've had.
So I am, just me.
No, I'm just kidding. Mitch, the person who can answer this question much more educated than I could, Cheyenne, so I heard it. Respond.
So the consensus of council, I think I've had 5 people reach out, it's gonna be the 26th. At 6 o'clock.
And will this be listed as a special call meeting where council will be able to take action on any proposed amendments, or will this be able?
Just be a workshop with regards to ordinance 991. There will be no formal action.
Any action we did wish to take will have to be at their reading at the last.
We could schedule a special call meeting after the workshop if you would, for us to do it that way, but. Yeah.
It would just be nice, well, I guess you would.
Yeah, I don't know a way that we can do it or we can make any changes before third reading unless we do it tonight.
But the point of the workshop is.
Review the changes that we made tonight, suggest any changes before third reading.
Next item is discussion and approval of 2026 quarterly public input meeting schedule. And I believe we have 3 suggested options. Am I correct? Please do.
In your agenda packet, there are 3 proposed, calendars. The first one being the meetings, the quarterly public input meetings being on the same days as our council meetings. The second would be on the complete opposite days of our council meetings. There would be standalone quarterly meetings, and they would be on the 4th Monday of each month in March, June, September, and December. And then the third option would be a hybrid where in 2 months you would have it on the same day as the council meetings. And then the other 2 months you would have it on the fourth Monday of each month for the opposite month.
Wes, for purposes of this, no, we can just get a consensus. Do you want a motion and a vote?
It's not necessary.
I will say the reason that I would choose proposed Schedule 2 standalone is only because we never really know at certain months how busy a council meeting would be. If it's budget time, if the meeting will be 2 hours or 4 hours, it's hard. If somebody wanted to come and do public comment, if we didn't do it at the front end, and we waited, that's not fair. We could do it at the front end, but it just makes it easier for me, to have it stand alone for everybody to be able to get there and have their comments. But that's just my opinion.
You don't want to run the 2 together.
I do not.
I don't either.
I believe that Schedule 3 would be confusing, but I could really go either way on Schedule 1 or Schedule 2. That benefits to both.
Wayne, what say you?
We did it the same day. It'd be more ideal if we did the input session before the meeting, just in case we did need to take some action that we, based on what we heard in the input session, we could do it right after, within minutes. It wouldn't have to be weeks. Other than that, I can, reschedule it. I'll be here.
For one clarification, even if we heard something at a meeting, we couldn't put it on the agenda 5 minutes later.
Correct.
So we went, the split would be a lot better, with option 2, I believe.
Yes.
And at a later time, because we already some folks already struggle to get here when the council starts. If we bump that back earlier,
Oh, Bill, no.
it could, hinder folks who may desire to speak. So I think all council meetings.
Mr. Filson,
It's a job, sir. Be on time.
what are we
Get
talking
paid
about?
for it.
Well, we were talking about being, worried about the citizens being able to get here on time, not us.
At 6 o'clock.
Can I tell you something, sir? As long as we post it.
Okay. So consensus would be that we would do standalone meetings quarterly, proposed schedule 2. Awesome. Next item is approval of resolution 2026-3. It's approval of an memorandum of understanding with Lawrence County Chamber of Commerce regarding the Potter's Field.
I'll be happy to present this, but Mr. Howard's here and this is kind of his project and I think he deserves the recognition of it. So I'd rather him come up and just present it. This is allowing for donations to be made to the Lawrence County Chamber of Commerce Foundation for renovations to Potter's Field.
Good evening, council.
Good evening, sir.
So we, after many years, Nick Nichols and Biggie Cheeks and obviously Miss Patty, and also Nick Nichols, the second, third, I'm not quite sure how that falls in, but many citizens have asked how they can donate to the help of Potter's Field and the maintenance of Potter's Field. County not being able or really wanting to take donations. The Chamber of Commerce has asked or has been willing to, through their foundation, offers graciously to take those donations and allowed for that donation to take place for the upkeep of Potter's Field. And through a memorandum of understanding, that would be a place where people can make donations to Potter's Field. And we can use those to buy the crosses that have recently been put out, and different things like that. So, that's what we're asking for, permission to make a partnership with the Chamber of Commerce. We've done that with other, different types of donation opportunities for the county. We're asking for council to make that possible tonight.
I motion.
Second that. Thank you, both Patty, Andy, for all y'all do out there.
Thank y'all.
Thank y'all.
Thank you, sir.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor of approving resolution 2026-1, please.
Wait, discussion.
Oh, do you need more discussion? I'm sorry.
Just clarification on how the money flows. The way I read this under responsibilities of the foundation, item C, all funds collected will be directly provided to the county to be used for the established Potter's Field Fund. No financial benefit or gain from this agreement. So are they going to collect the money and then turn it over to the treasurer or the finance department, whichever that may be, or are they going to hold the funds?
I believe they will hold the funds, but that would be a question better suited to the attorney. I'm not sure how it worked in the past.
It was my understanding that the foundation would just serve as a pass-through. That the money would flow in and flow directly out to the treasurer's office.
Will that be on our website for people to donate?
You have a question? Sorry.
Will that be on our website for Lawrence County website? If people wants to go on there and donate, they can go to Chamber. Do so, or how can we do that?
I believe we could make that happen.
Okay.
There would be a separate fund set up if it does come to the treasurer. I know, in the past, with the donation for the dog park, we had a separate account set up just for the dog park. So, those funds came in and that account is strictly for the dog park maintenance.
Like there's several times when there have been donations made for specific instances, Black Hole.
Yeah, that's right.
That was a citizen who desired to do that and made that donation, I guess. If they're just collecting the check and giving it to us, I don't know why it can't be given directly to the county. If they were holding the funds, that would make a lot more sense. I just don't understand not opposed to it. Just don't understand the need necessarily unless they're out there actively collecting. And then is the date correct? Just backdated for a reason.
I believe they've already, there was a donation already made.
That was my understanding.
Any more discussion? All those in favor of approving resolution 2026-3? Please raise your right hand. Is that everybody?
6-0.
Okay. People are kind of slow, it must be a little blood sugar.
Thank you, council.
Thank you. Next item, approval of resolution 2026-1, Project Palmetto Inducement Resolution. Roman?
Thank you, sir. The next two items are dealing with Project Palmetto, which is a new industry that will involve the company moving its headquarters here, which was $19.2 million and 57 new jobs.
For motion to approve resolution 2026-1, Project Palmetto Inducement.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor of approve, please raise your right hand. 6-0. Next item is first reading of ordinance 1000, which is the Project Palmetto fee load.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor of approval, please raise your right hand. 6-0. Next item is first reading of ordinance 1001. Is to amend ordinance 926 related to non-conforming lots.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This ordinance would amend 926 to allow people to place structures on lots of record that existed before 1996. The easiest way for me to explain this is to explain some of the problems we're having with the planning commission. Currently, you're required to have a half-acre minimum lot size to place any structure on it in Lawrence County. There are lots of record, lots that have been created prior to 1996 that are less than a half acre. Specifically in our mill villages and around the Lake Greenwood area. Currently, if someone wishes to place a new structure or replace a structure on one of those non-conforming lots, they have to pay $200 and go before the planning commission. And quite frankly, the only cases that we're getting before the planning commission right now are concerning non-conforming lots. So the planning commission has requested that council amend 926 to allow structures to be placed on non-conforming lots, assuming that structure can meet the setbacks that were established at the time the lot was created, or the setbacks that match the character of the neighborhood.
Motion to approve ordinance 1001.
Second. Any discussion? All those in favor of approving on first reading ordinance 1001, please raise your right hand. 6-0. Final item is first reading of ordinance 1002, Project Basil Philo. Title.
Yeah, this. And Wes might be better off. Like, this is amending a current FELO agreement for a company and increasing their special source revenue credit this year and then subtracting it for the next 2 years, so it's a net zero for the county as far as revenues. That's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it. We don't have much more information at this time from the from the industry. It is an existing industry in the Octagon Multi-County Industrial Park.
They don't have, they haven't specified a reason.
They had some unforeseen coming up, but they were just. Their original FILO agreement, they committed to $49 million of investment. They've invested over $109 million, so.
Motion to approve first reading of ordinance 1002.
Second. Any discussion? All those in favor on first reading, ordinance 1002, please raise your right. 6-0.
Mr. Chairman,
Oh, apologize. All those opposed? All those abstaining? 5-1, Councilman Brownlee, abstention. Thanks, sir. I apologize.
Chairman, if I may ask a clarification point on item D under new business,
Yes, sir.
first reading of the FILO. Do we expect to have a county park direction on that, and what's the timeline on those ordinances?
Which item was this?
Project Palmetto is already located in the Connexel.
We've already placed it.
It's already in the multi-county industrial park.
Fantastic.
We now have arrived at county council comments. Start with Councilman Lang.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Happy New Year, everybody. Glad to be back. I guess I will say I'm pretty pleased with mostly what we've done here tonight. I'm excited about what's to come in the coming months. But yeah, as always, you guys reach out to me if you have a problem or an issue. Thank you all.
Yance.
Me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I got that. January 3rd, Miss Garrison, I kind of touched on this. There was a fire on Park Road that took all of the firefighters in Orange County to fight. We had to call on city departments to man the empty fire departments around the county. That's how massive this fire was. One fireman had to be treated for heat all. There was a resident on Park Road, I got her name, but I don't, it's in a truck. They were held at 4 hours before she was able to get to her home because the road was blocked. The reason, Park Road Bridge has been out for 8 or 9 years. Could have gone in the back way and got home with the bridge then. Now I want to ask council this. If things were reversed and the residents couldn't get out of Park Road, this was not ordinary brush fire. This was 12 months worth of a lean brush and timber being dumped on private property and really not being taken care of. County firemen were tending to this fire Sunday night. I know this tract of land is, I think it's probably several thousand acres, this big tract of land. If it's been a bad wind blowing, it could have been a disaster for the people on Park Road because there's no way out. One way out, and that's it. My question is this, and I've jumped on my soapbox for a time last year about the bridge in this county. My question is this, what are you waiting for? I guess it'll take a death or a disaster for this county to those what needs to be done about these bridges. There was even a medical emergency where a resident had to get some sort of medical device, but he couldn't get through. Nancy Garrison came through in her side by side, drove him through the pastures and the fields to get him to his house. That's all I got to say. I hope council step up, do something about these bridges, been out for the last 10 years.
Mr. Pilson,
And I'll come back.
this is your time.
I got a lot to, so you're gonna wait.
Yeah.
Y'all, department heads, you here, need to come up front. All you department heads, come up front. All your name. Sheriff Ed. Sonny. Sonny. Miss Patty. Mr. Wilson not here. Miss Tammy. Ms. Lisa? Ms. Miss? And Administrator? Ms. Dolly? Yeah. Ms. Darby? Ms. Melissa? And Ms. Diane? No, you can't come.
Okay.
Y'all, on behalf of all three Coastal Jones, the Lawrence County Council, District Six Representative. And like this, I got more coming for your people in your department, but y'all are here tonight, so I want to present this one by one to each one of y'all. Because I'm gonna be all this week, going to every department, we're gonna make this happen. And Ms. Ferguson, you the first one. They said in your 4 years of dedicated service of Lawrence County, I want to tell you, thank you, ma'am. Now, we thank you, we appreciate you, I do. Everything is about me, it ain't about me. This is me. And that, man, we want to thank you for your 1 year service. Now, we thank you, man. And Administrator, want to thank you, no, you knew, but I still want to tell you thank you. Sir. No, sir, we thank you, appreciate you, sir. Chris, Matt, the law. Appreciate you, sir. I'm gonna make sure we go to 10 next time, I'm gonna hook you up. Thank you. What's listen I do? At least. I want to tell you, we thank you, ma'am. I know you got a hard job planning, and the like this, I'm glad you got some help now.
Yes.
Now, we thank you, ma'am, for your 3 years of service.
Thanks very
Now,
much.
ma'am, we thank you. This is, thank you. We want to thank you for your IT department, wherever you, all of you do. From your whole department, I got more coming to your whole department. Thank you for what you do. Now, ma'am, we thank you. Ms. Pat, I want to tell you, we thank you for your 15 years of service along.
It's 26.
26.
Thank you.
26.
Thank you.
Now, ma'am, we thank you. You might have to prepare 15 for something else.
Yeah.
Sonny, we want to thank you for your year of service at the LEM. LEM. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Appreciate you. Mr. Andy Howard, the ones that look less, don't get wrong. I got y'all. We're gonna wear. You already gave me mine. I gave you yours already. But don't worry, Mr. Howard, we got those with your people. I didn't get full everything. I was in a hurry tonight. Thank y'all. Hold on. Now we thank y'all. Get a picture with y'all. Now you wanna take a picture? Now take a picture. 9 times be the top. I'm not gonna be long. Be simple and short. I cannot say this. Y'all, the people in Lawrence County, thank y'all for coming in. Thank for all of us. And I want to tell y'all, thank y'all what y'all do for Lawrence County every day, every day. At every department Lawrence County got. From the bottom of my heart. I'm here for you. I'm gonna be your voice for you. The longer I can. Long God give me the power and the will. And I want to do the right thing. Because it's like this. I'm not, everybody say I'm a politician. I'm not in a politician. I'm just in a politician role. I'm just in a politician role. And if you see me every day, I'm gonna be the same. I'm the same 24 hours, 7 days a week. We need leaders. Not in love with money, or justice. What Martin Luther King said. And I believe that. And that's what my power is. It's like this. I know all of us ain't gonna be on the same thing. And everybody don't wear the same size shoe. Everybody don't wear the same size shirt, shoes, suits. So all of us gonna have different taste for you. But at the end of the day, I hope that we can come to the better of people's of Laurel County. This year, I would like to see put on the agenda the penny sale tax. And every department, everybody in Laurel County to get together and come up with our item that need to be addressed for the penny sale tax. I think the county need an audit. Because just me, ask me, a man don't take over a bank, he don't count the money. We have been to 2 or 3 county administrators, and ain't no money being counted. Not up under my watch. So, and I would like to see the county look for a pay raise for these people. We still got people out here making $30 in something an hour, a full-time county employee. And all of y'all at this table over here, to my right, make more money in $30 in something an hour. And then you get, and it's like this, some of y'all in position get paid more than some people work 365 days for this county, make more, and y'all here one day a week, a month. And do the math. If it's my goal, I won't take no money. I do it for the people. I'm here for the people. I ain't here for no power. No trying to be deals and want to be on top. Ain't but 2 titles in my life I'll utterly Fulton want. On my kid dead, and on my kid have kids, I'm their grandfather. All these other titles do not mean a thing for me, can be taken away. But them 2 titles can never be taken away from me. And I just want to tell y'all, thank you for being Laurel County. But we do need to make these people pay raise when that time come up. We need to look at the budget and give these people some money. I think the salary in Laurel County should be $15 an hour or something, you walking in here. Because I've been walking around this whole county for 1 year. And I've been seeing people leave one office, I see them at another office, and I ask myself, why are they there? Why they move from that apartment to that apartment? It make common sense. You gotta chase a dollar bill. You still gotta chase a dollar bill to feel in our vote. And that don't make sense. Just in my calculation, why do people got to keep, why we can't keep larger people and pay them what they deserve? And it like this. I know I'm gonna have more to say next month. Is God willing to put me back here? And I just want to tell y'all, my heart is for the peoples in Laurel County, not just for Ditcher City, it's for everybody in Laurel County. It's going to be the better for Laurel County. And me, on the housing development, with all the zoning, the planning, I'm blind. They still ain't showing me where the money is. Don't put me at that table. But all 3 of them down there know where the money is. And I call it like I see it. And they ain't gonna never show me. They can put me in there, but they ain't gonna try to show me what, they're gonna show me what they want me to see. But I now want to see. I'm gonna find out one day. I got a couple more years if God willing to put me here. And I just wonder that it like this. I just want to tell y'all, thank the people that who work for Laurel County every day, all your department head, all your labels, everybody. Everybody. Thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all.
Thank you. Mr. Patterson.
I don't have much this evening, just happy new year. 2026 is a new year. I look forward to serving this year with all you fine folks. Doing great things for the county of Lawrence. Everybody good health. I know we had a lot of health issues back in December from staff and a few of us, and I'm glad to see everybody healthy and happy this evening, and hope that continues throughout the new year. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Mr. Brown.
Yes, sir. Thank you. It's been 1 year of this meeting, then 1 year on council, Mr. Lane, and Mr. Filson. Happy to serve you all. It's been a great year, getting to know most of you, and I think we've got a lot accomplished. Again, just want to thank our department heads. I know some of them have already left. I want to thank Cynthia Burke, DMV registrations. That would be great. Ms. Wargo, congratulations to your department. I see she's left, but I know she'll be a great use in helping you out in that department. And also Mr. Coleman, I know he had to step out, but I think this is probably the longest agenda with velos that we've had, so very excited to see those. The most exciting news of all is I get to introduce future Mrs. Brownlee, sitting over here next to Patty.
Yeah.
We got engaged on January 1st. I did tell her that she had to come to a council meeting, just to make sure she knew what she was getting herself into before we tied the knot. But she's got to meet a lot of you already. I hope she gets to meet the rest of you. Grateful to be here and grateful to serve. Thank you all.
I do thank everyone for attending these meetings and the things that we try to do. Just to speak directly to it, we're audited every single year. We have an independent audit that comes and takes care of the county. I'm sure the county administrator can help you find out where the money's located.
Can I tell you something? That ain't good enough for
No,
me.
no, it's not.
I wanna know what every item
No,
that's
it's not.
counted. You don't need to know what we on.
One quarter, we don't interrupt you during your comments. You're not gonna interrupt.
Just tell the host over there.
So it's really exciting to be able to have these conversations. Coming up on budget time, an opportunity for people to learn how government works and how you fund things and how things are paid for. So I hope we have an opportunity to share that conversation with this group. It's a lot of work goes into making the county run, and there's a lot of questions that need to be asked, and hopefully we'll answer all those questions. But this should be a cohesive group working together for the citizens of Lawrence County, and for the most part, I think it is, and we have hearts for the citizens. But we're going to start this year good, calm, and moving Lawrence County forward. And so I do thank you for what you do. All right, with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor, please raise your hand. Thank you.